Hello, Magda. Magda, do you hear me? Magda, do you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Good.
Good evening. How was your day?
Very well, thank you.
Okay. What
I am a little sick.
do you have the flu?
Stomach
Okay. You have the stomach ache.
ache.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry about it. Magda, I checked your second task and I uploaded the feedback. Did you see it? I mean,
Yes,
no,
teacher.
not the second task, but the first task, the one that you sent to my email.
Yes, teacher. I saw at the moment the grades. I have some errors. In the next task, I am going to put more attention in this right.
Okay, Magda.
Right.
Right. Now that you mentioned there is a difference between the word error and mistake. In this case, is mistake, right? Not error. In this
The
case,
mistakes. Yes.
some mistakes.
I am a little nervous.
Don't worry. You know, we joined to practice orally, so it's okay if you make mistakes because that's the way we learn. If we practice, we make mistakes, we correct them, and then we move on. And all the process is requires making mistakes for the correction and for learning.
Yes, teacher.
Good. Daliana, good evening. Do you hear us?
Good evening, teacher. Yes. Good evening, Magda.
Hello, Dariana.
Right. Welcome to the encounter. The idea tonight is to review the information that you studied last week, which was about conditionals, right? You studied the second conditional. Do you remember?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So let's review what you remember about conditionals, and then we will practice orally.
Okay.
So let's see here. I'm going to share my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Monica, good evening.
Good evening, teacher. How are you?
Good, thank you. All right,
Okay.
Monica, we are going to review the conditionals and then we will practice orally, right?
Okay. Okay.
So we have, how many conditionals do we have?
Teacher, de tipos de condicional.
Exactly.
Yo estudié the first conditional, second conditional, three conditional.
Okay. You studied the first, the second, and the third conditional.
Yes.
And there is also one that is called zero conditional. Okay.
Ay, este gato.
Any idea about zero conditional? When do we use it, or an example, or the rule?
Yes.
Marta?
Yes, I have idea on the conditional.
Okay.
Some obviously, the words always if you touch example, one example.
Yes, please.
Uh,
For example,
if you touch the flame, if you touch the flame, you get burned.
right. Exactly. So for the zero conditional, we have a condition that it's a truth. It's a truth because and because it's a truth, we use present simple here and present simple in the second part of the sentence.
Zero is about universal truth.
Exactly. Okay, good. What about the first conditional? When do we use it? And an example.
Yo.
Okay, Monica.
First conditional. My example. If you study, you'll pass the test.
Exactly. So we have present simple in the first part of the sentence.
And consequence in future.
Exactly. Future with will, right? So when do we use that type of conditional? When?
Mm.
Situations that we can happen in the future that can be truth or real.
Okay, situation or maybe conditions.
Real
That,
situation, real possible.
exactly. The possibility to get the condition is high.
Okay.
Good. Okay, what about the second and the third conditional? Well, the second conditional.
The second, hi, teacher.
Hello,
It's
Jessica.
Paola. Excuse me. Teacher, the second condition is when a dream, or dream, or is a possibility.
What happens with the possibility?
Because it's a dream. Maybe no, maybe impossible.
Pathetic.
It's a dream, sueño.
Okay, okay.
How do you say hypothetical? Hypothetic? I don't know.
Hypothetical
Situation.
situations. Exactly. So dreams. An example.
My
Monica?
my example. If I won the lottery, I will travel it around the world.
All right, Monica, so we have past simple in the first part of the sentence and would with the verb
Oh my
on
God.
the base form in the second part of the sentence, right?
Yes.
Good. And what about the third conditional?
The third conditional use present perfect and is how do you say improbably is some
Unlikely.
how do you say improbably
Impossible.
impossible. Okay, it use present perfect and would
Okay. It's impossible to meet the condition because it's or the person uses the tense to reflect about a decision made in the past. So, for example, when we regret or when we think about uh, options that we had in the past, usually when we make decisions is because we have two, three, or more options, and we choose only one. When we reflect about the other options, so we or either regret or just make the reflection that we cannot change the past. So that's why it's not possible to meet the condition. Example,
I teacher.
Monica.
My example, if I had no English, I won't have failed the test.
Okay. So this is a sentence that a person who failed the test just uttered, right, or made. But the person already failed the test. So is the person is reflecting about what happened in the past, but the person cannot change the past. So that's why it's not possible to meet the condition. And for this tense, we have past perfect for the first part of the sentence and would and present perfect for the second part of the sentence. Okay, it is very important that you memorize the rule, the grammar rule, because if we translate those sentences to Spanish, the tenses change. So if we wanted to translate from Spanish into English, we won't have a literal translation word by word. The rule in Spanish is different to the rule in English to talk about those sentences or conditions. So that's why it's necessary to memorize the rules. Do you guys have questions about those rules or those tenses or those conditionals?
okay.
Paola?
No teacher, no question.
Okay, Magda?
No, no
No
question.
questions. Okay, good. So let's practice. The task that you had last week was about your carbon footprint. So, Daliana, uh, these are your results of the exercise. We can see here in your results that you produce a lot of carbon at home in the food that you eat. and that's it, because you don't buy a lot of things. Your purchases are less than the average of the region, and your production of carbon in relation to transportation is less than the one of the region. So, Daliana, your reflections about two things that you would change at home, or two things that you would change regarding food in order to lower that carbon footprint in those two areas. What would you do?
Um, in case of home, at home, change the lights bulbs, because at home we don't use a lot of LED. So this is one thing that I have to change. And with food, the problem is in my family we live 5 persons, and specifically my father eats a lot of meat, a lot, and that's for that I choose my answers that we can eat food, meat and chicken, and and for 3 months ago we changed this part. We don't eat a lot of meat on the week, just one or two times
Per week.
in a week, per week, and we changed for chicken with more chicken, and yes, it's the exactly what we do
Okay, thank you.
for
Well,
change all this.
sometimes those carbon footprint calculators give you some ideas on things or actions that we can make to reduce our footprint. So, for example, not only reduce the amount of beef that we eat, but also if we cannot reduce that consumption, we could probably plant a tree or reduce other activities that we do that also produce carbon. Okay, Daliana, thank you. So we have here Monica's result
Teacher.
of the exercise. Uh-huh.
Yes. My result shows that my carbon footprint is high compared to the average of Colombia and the average world. But in the categories, I can see that my footprint only increases in transport because I don't know use a bicycle and I can't walk to my work this far. Entonces, then, what can I do to improve my carbon footprint? Uh, One, if I walk, it will improve my health. Second, if I had a bicycle, I will go to work in it. And three, if I had know about my carbon footprint, I will change many habits. Four, and finally, uh, if I do not print, I'll keep more trees.
Okay. If I didn't print,
If I didn't, oh yes, excuse me. If I didn't not print,
if I didn't print. Uh-huh. Okay, so uh, it would be, I don't know what you think, but is it difficult for you to change your means of transportation? Is it difficult for you to start using a bicycle instead of using a bus?
yes, it's difficult for me because how do you say lejos,
Far,
far, far, far, uh, impossible, impossible.
because your your job is far from your home.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so since it is not possible for you to change the bus for a bicycle, what other thing could you make to reduce your footprint in other areas? So you mentioned that you could probably reduce the amount of printing paper, and besides that, what other activity would you could you really start doing to reduce your footprint?
Um, my work forced me to print.
Okay. So other thing that
I am teacher. I am teacher, preschool teacher. Then the material is important
I
for
know,
kids.
they need visuals, they need to
Yes.
color, they need to. I know. But for example, in your results, Monica, you have 624 kilograms at home of production of carbon compared to the region, which is 268. So, what things could you do at home to reduce that production of carbon?
In my home.
Yes, at home.
In my home. Okay. I redo. I mm, I don't know.
Regarding the amount of water that you use or
I
the
will
energy.
reduce. Uh, um, how do you say consumo?
My consumption.
My consume the water, light, garbage. I don't know.
Okay, so you could use less water, less energy, and you could probably recycle.
Yes,
Okay.
but wait. But I try it all days.
You would try to do it every day to reduce that
Yes, yes.
every day. Okay. Well, thank you, Monica.
Okay.
Carol, welcome to the encounter. Magda,
Hello, teacher.
hello, Carol.
Teacher. Hello, teacher.
Hello, Carol. Um, Magda, I read your task, but I didn't see the chart. Uh, could you tell us like some actions that you could do at home or regarding food or regarding purchases or regarding transportation that could help you to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that you produce?
I realized that I have produced a lot of carbon dioxide, and I was very worried because I didn't know that I can produce um, so many carbon dioxide. I don't take pictures of the test, but um, but it was very interesting and 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 get me reflection about the importance that that to know how to learn to take the environmental
To take care of it.
to take the term?
To take care of the environment.
To take care of environment.
Of the environment.
And I think that it's very important that a lot of people know these problems in the world, and and take conscience about these problems of the planet, our planet.
Okay. To become aware. Take on consciousness, no, to become aware.
To become our conscience.
Yeah, become aware of the problem.
What is become aware? What is the means?
Darse cuenta o ser consciente.
Yes.
Okay, and in your case, Magda, what do you think you could make? You could really change. In your case, what could you change in your life to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that you produce?
Change the lights. What is the
light bulbs?
The LED bulbs,
Bulbs.
Bulbs, LEDs, like bulbs, LEDs, change by other, because we have a lot of like bulbs, and I like to take on the light always, because I don't like the dark. Then I want to change this bad habit, and take off the light when I get out.
Yes.
Get out of the room.
Exactly.
Yes. To use only the necessary light bulbs in my house. Also, recycle. Paper, because I work with children, and the guides, and ¿cómo se dice? Hacemos mucho, a lot of guías.
You design a lot of guides.
Guides for the children, and I know that se desperdicia a lot of paper.
That is waste.
Then reduce these guides, or to do more small, more a little
smaller guides.
Smaller guides, yes. Smaller guides.
Or recycle the paper also.
Yes, or recycle the paper. And other thing could be mm, I I love to buy clothes. I love clothes, and I think that I have to love the to buy um, mm, a lot of clothes that I I I don't need.
What do you usually do with your old clothes? Do you save them? Do you keep them at home or do you give them away? Do you sell them?
Some of the some of the I obsequio. No,
And you give them away?
yes. Yes, I give them away another people, family, or um, I try to reuse that obsequiándola, but
Okay.
this is a
But
problem.
you think you could probably buy less clothes?
Um, I don't understand.
You said that you could probably buy less clothes. Less
Yes, yes, I want to buy less clothes.
clothes. Okay. Okay, good man. Thanks for your reflections. Finally, let's listen to Carol. These are Carol's results of her exercise with the carbon footprint calculator, and she has two aspects that are high: home and transportation. So, Carol, what could you do at home or regarding transportation to reduce your production of carbon dioxide?
Teacher, can, maybe I will live near to my college because it's impossible to me transport in bicycle because it is so far, but I have the possibility to move near near there. It is possible. Something that I can make is separate the trash correctly because in my home um, is not common recycle. For example, the paper. Teacher, how did you say botellas?
Battles?
Oh, yes, bottles of glass or two. I can carry my own bags when I going to shopping or shop a um, grocery store or teacher. Oh, I don't remember how to say supermercado, tienda.
The mall or the grocery store?
Yes, sorry. Yes, and I can carry my own bags at the grocery store or the mall. I think that this can some aspects.
Okay. Carol, when you say it's not common recycle. Okay. Here it's important that you use the word to, because
Okay.
if you translate it into Spanish, it will be reciclar. So if you use a verb which is not conjugated, you need the word to before. It's not common to recycle.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
And Carol, when you said college is because you work, you study in a different university, or you are talking about this, the place where you work?
No, teacher, I study in a different university.
Ah, okay, good, great. What's this? Uh, right, so the idea is to continue practicing orally, okay? So I'm going to show you some pictures to talk about a topic, a different topic, but to practice orally that topic. I'm going to share again my screen. Okay, so what do you see in the pictures?
In the first one, a baby that touched to her grandfather.
Okay, yes, he's probably his grandfather. And in the other
Uh,
pictures,
and the second one, people that is make exercise.
people that are making exercises.
And
And
the third, um, more people reading in the park, probably. And
uh
the fourth, um, people that is painting.
okay,
I think
Pe- people that are painting. Mhm. The common thing among all of them is that all of them are elderly people or seniors. Yes, they are more than 60 or 70 probably years old. Okay, so when we stop working and we do other things, that is called retirement. Let me write the word here. That is called retirement. So the verb is retire. So what activities do you think that you would do when you retire? Have you ever thought about it?
to travel teacher.
Have any of you thought about your retirement, or have any of you thought about what you would like to do when you get to retire?
To
Teacher,
travel
I would
teacher.
like to travel.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And have you planned how to do it? And because when you stop working, you won't have the same amount of money. How would you make it become a reality? Do you have plans for that? Do you have any plans so that at the time that you retire, you could actually travel?
Saving money.
For example, have you planned to save money so that by the time that you retire, you can spend the money to travel?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Daliana. So, and what other? Monica would like to travel, and Daliana would like also to travel, I guess. And you have thought about saving money, right? When or did you start saving money now to do that a reality, or are you planning to do it in the near future, Daliana?
Excuse me, teacher. You can repeat.
Are you saving money So by the time that you retire, you can travel, or do you plan to start saving money very soon?
Very soon.
Okay,
I think if I can start um, near to saving money, in the future we can have even more for can spend in this moment, even for more things, different things. For example, um, buy how do you say bienes raíces or something?
buy a house that's called um,
Rent. Um,
just give
yeah,
me a moment. I
buy.
forgot the word. Um, Let me check. So you plan to buy houses or apartments in the future and to live from the rent, or to live, or to buy and sell houses and apartments?
To buy and sell because I want to live um, in the oversize or even in the camp in the campo when this time comes.
¿Para
When
qué?
I get
¿Hacer
older,
qué? ¿Qué va a hacer?
Okay. So let me check. The word is
Teacher, I found that it is real estate,
yeah,
bienes
yeah.
raíces.
Thank you. Right. Thank you very much. So that would be Daliana's plan, so that when she retired, she would buy and sell houses. She will devote her time and her money to real estate business. So she would have the money to travel. That's what she would like to do when she retired. Good. Anybody else have thought about plans when you get to retire?
Teacher, for example, I would like travel too, but I would like be teacher of my other career. Mm,
So you would like to teach when you after you retire? I mean, you would like to help people, to teach people without asking them for money.
mm, for example, well, I study medicine. I like the investigations, other teams, and I think that it's important share our knowledges for the new generations. If teacher, how do you say lograr? I don't remember.
Obtain or get.
Obtain or get.
Yes.
Okay, if I obtain some advance, some scientific advance in the medicine or so when something, I would like teach there.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you would like to teach other people without asking them for money.
Yes, can be.
Good. So for that idea that you have, you don't need to plan anything, because you would just give your knowledge. I mean, you just need to have the knowledge to share it with other people, right? In the future, when you get old, when you get to be old, when you retire.
Yes, teacher. It's possible to learn only how you can care about yourself. For example, many children around the world don't know don't know basics, the basics that they have to care self. I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, many people don't know how to care about themselves.
Yes.
They don't know how to get money to buy the things they need, to buy the food, or to even do activities like cooking. Or I understand what you mean. So you want to teach also people how to take care of themselves, those people who don't know how to do it.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. Any other ideas that you guys have about plans that you would like to do or to make a reality in the future when you retire?
Teacher, it's Paola. When I retire, uh, I would like to go to live in another town, but has warm climate because in this moment I live in a town cold, 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 cold climate. But
Okay,
it's necessary save money. But because in this moment I work for this.
okay. So at this moment you are working so you can save money. So by the time that you retire, you can move to a warmer place or a
Uh-huh.
place with warmer weather. Okay, good. What about Patricia or Monica or Magda? Do you guys have plans or
Teacher,
have you ever thought about it?
my plans, I would like to continue enjoying my family and see the logros, how do you say,
Achievements?
achievement of my son.
Okay, good. And Magda and Patricia, what
Mm,
would you like to do when you retire?
I would like to I would like to live near of the sea. I would like to have a small hotel for tourists, and I would like to I would like to can to can painting and interior decoration because I like a lot of this. And I don't know, mm, to travel with my husband abroad. I would like to know Italy.
To visit, to
Yes,
visit Italy.
Italy.
Okay, thank you, Magda. And Patricia, what about you? Have you ever thought about what you would do when you retire? Well, probably Patricia is not close to her microphone. Did you guys know what is the life expectancy in Colombia and the years that the year that a woman and a man need to have in order to retire? How old should be a man or a woman in Colombia in order to retire?
Mm,
Teacher, for woman, 57.
yes.
And for men,
For men, 16, 60, 7, ¿no? 50,
62.
no, 62.
Okay. And do you guys know what is the life expectancy in Colombia?
Oh my God, I don't know.
18 years. 80, no, 80 years?
80?
80.
Okay. This is what I found at the web. I I found this information in Dane webpage. It says that for men it's 73 and for women is 79. And that is life expectancy is till 2020. So till next year. So every time Colombians are expected to live longer lives, more years.
Teacher, but I think that the peoples that lived older in the towns, in the small towns, have a more expectative to life, have more life expectancy.
Maybe. Uh, in my case, in my family, the life expectancy is like Danny proposes in this chart for most of my relatives and family members. But for others, it didn't happen. For example, in my father's side, there are illnesses related to heart, so heart attacks. So some uncles and my own father, they die soon because they had that illness. But for other family members and other relatives, the life expectancy is in agreement with what is expected according to Danny. What about you guys? What happened in your families? Do you think those this data is in agreement with the reality in your families?
Yes, in my case, my family does it because I don't know what happened, but for example, my grandmother uh, think that this could be the average of the age. Even the father for my grandmother, he's dead at the 90. He's dead, but the majority of my family cousins, when we talk, we told me that he doesn't expect to live more to 25, 75. Sorry.
Okay, so your cousins think that they won't live more than 75 years old years.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Teacher,
Yes.
but
my mother died recently, and I was very young. I was 59 years old, and I was not in the study.
okay, so I guess she had an illness like in my father's case, that my father died when he was 64. So he was not in this in agreement with this data that we have here. But for example, in Carol's family, her grandmother lived till she was 90 years old.
Okay.
What about
Mm,
your grandparents, Magda or Paola?
My grandfather died at 68 years. Uh,
Uh-huh.
but I think that it was for an accident.
Okay.
Uh, my mother died at, at 69 because um, she was sick.
Okay.
She was Parkinson, and I think she was very hurt anteriorly. ¿Cómo se dice anteriormente?
Before?
He was before she was mm, very hard, but uh, mm, uh, with the disease,
Uh-huh.
uh, it's very hard. And she died very young for me.
Yes,
Um,
she was young.
young.
Okay. And in Paola's case,
For example, my grandma, my grandmother died 74, and my grandpa, oof, died very young, for an accident. I think so. 42 years old. I think so, 42 years old.
42. Okay.
But my mother, she's uh, excuse me, 58, 58. And my father is 71, 71. And so,
Okay, so in your grandparents' case, they more or less the year when they died was in agreement with this data.
yes,
All right. Okay. I would like you to listen to a short video that talks about plans when we want to retire. It is not common that in Colombia people plan in advance for the future. That in other cultures, like in the North American culture, some people do. Some people plan in advance, even for the same week. So I don't know if you have seen in the movies or in the series that, for example, people in the USA paste on the refrigerators what they have to do during the week. So they have that culture of planning the activities in advance, and also the retirement activities, the retirement plans. So I would like you to watch the video, which is only 3 minutes long, and I would like you to answer these questions that you see here on the screen. So, how much, I mean, regarding money, how much should people save on average in order to live comfortably after retiring? And what aspects should people have in mind in order to plan their retirement? So I'm going to share with you the link. So please watch the video, and when you are done, let me know. So, Daliana, you are done with the video. And what about the others? Carol, Magda, Monica, Patricia, and Yasmin.
Yes, teacher. I finished the video.
Done with the video. Okay. Patricia, do you hear me?
Teacher Patricia has a problem with his internet
With her.
because her internet because where she lives there is snowing too snowing.
Okay. Thank you, Paola. So, who wants to answer the first question? According to the video, how much should people save on average in order to live comfortably after retiring?
Teacher, according to the video in USA, many people's have savings. For example, they say that they have three options: the pension, investments, and social securities. And they speak about if I don't know how to say fondos de inversión.
Investment,
Yes, it's the same. Mm, Well, and they speak that the government have options or private options for have investments.
okay. And did you hear the percentage of salary that we should save in order to live a comfortable uh, retirement?
Teacher, I don't remember. I believe that it was
20,
80 years.
80%.
20%?
No,
No,
80.
more.
Ah, no,
Eight,
excuse me.
80.
20 years, 80%.
80%.
80%, exactly. That's a lot, right? 80% is what we usually spend, and sometimes we can save the 20%.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, and Carol mentioned like some of the aspects that we should have in mind in order to plan the retirement. So if we are going to have um, health, healthcare, or if we are going to invest our money, what other aspects were mentioned in the video?
Pension benefit?
So it's mentioned because in the USA, some companies have some pension benefits as a plan for people when they retire. So the video tells that people in the USA should think about those benefits when they get some money or when they save some money for their pension. And what else? What other aspect?
The other, savings and investment.
Savings
Yes.
and investment.
And in the video mentioned social security.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So if we are going to, if people is going to pay Social Security, which here is the healthcare service that we have. So for them, it's the Social Security that
For
covers.
example, Obamacare.
Uh, I'm not sure, but healthcare, um, Social Security is what here in Colombia is the healthcare service that we pay
Okay.
month after month. So what it is mentioned in the video is that we should think if we are going to have that social service because people usually get very sick when they get old. So if it's important to think about saving money for that social security.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
And as you mentioned, also the investment funds. What else? Any other thing that was mentioned in the video?
The this thing about 401 k, that it's about retirement plans.
Could you
I
repeat?
know this part when means 401 is about retirement plans.
No, could you write, could you type it, please? Because I don't understand the word. Retirement plus 401k. Ah, okay. That's also like a, a business that is in the USA in which you can save money and they invest the money and then you get some interest back for the money that you saved. So we don't have that in Colombia, 401k, but they do in the USA.
Okay. Yes, because I never heard before that.
Any other thing that is mentioned in the video about aspects to have in mind? They also said that we should think about expensive hobbies if we want to have expensive hobbies like traveling. Okay, but as I said, this is because their culture is different. They plan many things. Uh, in my case, I think that we should travel and we should the activities that we like when we are young and still have energy. Because if we wait till we get retired, then we won't have like that energy to enjoy life in the same way. I don't know if you agree with that idea or if you think in a different way. Do you guys usually travel? Do you guys usually spend time doing the activities that you like the most? Or do you think that it is better to save money so by the time you retire, you can travel a lot and do other activities?
Teacher, for example, I prefer a little but save back to teacher. I don't remember gastar.
Okay. Uh, well, you can say buy or yes, you can say buy. Spend.
Okay, I prefer saving back to buy spend. Yes, spend because I don't know if tomorrow I will be died. It's a
Uh,
probably. And if we wait all life for finally have some emotions or experience, maybe our condition or physical condition don't let make some things that we can make no. And it for mine is necessary, but spend, but saving too.
Okay. What about the others? Do you prefer planning or do you prefer living day after day?
Teacher, I work 20 years ago, so I pay my pension,
Okay. So you have
but
already,
but I think the plans is 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 best now.
so you think it is better to not plan for
The future, no, now,
plan for the
now.
future, but plan for the near future, let's say,
Yes,
for tomorrow.
because die my mother.
Ah,
Um, eh, she think how do you say, ella pensaba
she thought,
the plans now, the future no, now.
uh she thought about the present and not the future.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Teacher,
Yes,
teacher, I
Paola.
agree. I agree with Monica. I don't like plans for futures. I prefer live day to day, vivir el día a día, day to day, live day to day.
Uh-huh. The
Uh,
present.
in my present. Uh, it is maybe I feel um, my grandfather or my mother, for example, my mother was ill, and then uh, o sea, she had cancer. What do you say?
Same. It's the same word. Cancer.
Cancer. Okay. Now, since this moment, I decided no, I don't plan plans for you.
Okay. Thank you, Paola. Good. Any other comment or any other opinion, Magda?
I think that it's important to plan to have the future we want. So we know if we have to save money or see what we are going to do in the future.
Okay, so you prefer planning. Good. Any other idea or comment? Or probably you guys have questions about what you have studied in this way?
Teacher, excuse me, teacher. I need some explanation about present. I'm confused. Present perfect. Present continue. Sí, presente perfecto. Sí, presente perfecto continuo.
Okay.
I confused. Some confused.
Present perfect and present continuous, right? So we use present perfect when we talk about experiences we had in the past that we can repeat in the future. So I can say, for example, I have been to Monserrate twice this year. I did that in the past, but I can repeat that experience in the future. So I use present perfect. And I use present continuous when I talk about actions in the present that require some time to be done. So you say, I am reading a book. That's an activity that you do in the present and that you continue doing because you have not finished the action. Or you can say, I am uh, I am working in the task that I have to uh, publish on Sunday. So you are doing the activity and you have not finished yet. Is that the question?
Teacher, no, when I say, for example, I have been working in the school, for example. Ese have been working, ese perfect and continuous.
Okay, that is present perfect continuous. Okay, you use, in that case, you use that present perfect continuous to talk about an action that you are doing in the present and that has not finished. So you still work in the place. So you can mention, for example, the number of years that you have been doing that activity. I have been working in that school for 4 years. And it continues. You have not finished working in that place. The translation, it will be the same as in Spanish. Yo he estado trabajando para ese colegio o en ese colegio por 4 años. So in this case, for this tense, it works the same as in Spanish. We have the auxiliary have, we have the verb imperfect tense, we have the other verb in the in the in a continuous way, that is called gerundio in español. So it works the same. Present perfect continuous works the same as in Spanish. You have not finished the action. So actions in the present that continue, that started in the past and continue in the present. That is the thing. You started the action in the past. So you can say, other example could be, Tom has been reading that book for a week. Ha estado leyendo el libro por una semana, right? So the action started in the past, but continues in the present and has not finished. Okay. Any other question about something that you have studied in next week?
No, teacher.
No, teacher. The units are long.
Oh
No.
yes, long, very long.
Long. Oh my God.
I know. So probably you can work on some activities every day, not only one day, but each day you
Yes.
work on some exercises. Okay,
Yes,
well,
teacher.
you can let me know if you want to talk about a special topic next week, or you can tell me if you want me to explain a special topic next week. If you don't have the information today, you can email me so I can prepare the next encounter with the information that you want me to explain or to prepare. All right?
Right.
Right, teacher. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys for your
Thank you,
participation.
teacher.
I'm going to stop
Thank
the
you,
encounter.
teacher.
Okay,
Your
thank
class
you.
is funny.
It's fun. Okay.
Teacher.
Fun.
You are
Teacher,
welcome. Yes?
can I ask you something? I have a question that is a little bit personal. It's about a guide. You can help me, please?
Sure. Yes, I can help you. If you want me type it, or if you want
Okay.
to.
I can tap you.
Okay, so type it and I'll wait. If you, Paola, Carol, and Magda, uh, if you want to finish the encounter, it's okay. We'll meet next week. All right?
Correct, teacher. Okay, teacher, I have a problem.
Tell me.
Uh, in last week, the tax number two, I sent with platform, but um, I just realized oh my God, that they match the pictures, person's pictures, the footprints, was not clear. I don't know what happened. I hope so. Don't mind.
No,
¿Te la puedo
no, that's
compartir?
okay. I already checked it. I already read your task,
Ah,
and,
okay.
and it's okay. So
Ah, okay.
I try to
Now
match
in my
the
computer,
picture,
in
but
my
the picture is very short. It's very small, but
ah,
that's not a problem because I read the
okay.
information that you wrote, and it's okay.
Ah, okay, okay. Thank you, teacher. No
You
more.
are welcome. Okay. Bye, Monica. Thank you for joining the encounter.
Bye, teacher. See you.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
teacher.
teacher. Have a nice night. Bye, classmates.
Bye bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Magda. Okay, so you want to be a translator, Alexandra. Uh,
Mhm. And teacher as well. For that, I'm studying here.
so I would advise you to also study to be a translator. So there are other programs that could help you to be a translator, but also living abroad for some time will help you to be a good translator and a good teacher, because that requires both activities require that you know about the
Mhm.
culture where the language is spoken. So I would advise you to live abroad for at least a year, and also start translating things like very simple ones, like for example manuals, or let's say sometimes people who study other majors did translations of what they are studying. It is important that you also uh, try to do those types of works, because you would realize if you would be a translator of whatever arrives to you. I mean, any if you want to translate like any document that you could get, or if you want to focus on translating a specific information, like for example documents related to law, or documents related to science, etc. So in my experience, being a translator is very demanding because it requires a very good knowledge of vocabulary of any
Mhm.
topic. So that's why I advise you to offer, for example, services of translating information that probably students from other majors need. So you would see if you actually, if you really want to do that. Uh, I'm telling you this because when I started my studies as a teacher, I also thought that I wanted to be a translator. And when I finished my studies, sorry, I translated some documents, and
Yes, teacher.
by doing that, I realized that I didn't want actually to translate. I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed more being a teacher than translating things. So it's by doing it that you will actually experience if you really want to do it. And if you realize that you actually want to become a translator, I would advise you to travel, as I told you, to live abroad at least 1 year, and also to
Mhm.
continue studying. In Bogota, for example, there are a couple of universities who offer the service of, or the programs to become a translator. So you would need to study more.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, teacher. Thank you so much. I ask you, I'm sorry if I ask you some this because in my real life I don't have people that first I can practice English and someone that have experience that I can ask this kind of things. So for that, I'm sorry. Perdón mi atrevimiento,
That's
pero
okay. No, no, that's not a problem. Um, if you want to practice more your speaking, you could actually use an app in your cell phone that is called Cello. I just wrote it I just typed it in the chat box. That works like WhatsApp. So
okay.
when you download that app, you can type in the search bar. You can type, for example, English Spanish, and by typing that in the searching bar, you will get a list of different groups. You can check in each group like the topics that they talk about. In some groups, they like to talk about any topic. Other groups like just to talk about, for example, food or, for example, technology, etc. So, in the list, you can also find English Spanish for beginners or English Spanish for advanced students. Uh, so you
Different
can
levels.
exactly. So usually, as it works as WhatsApp, it means that you can audio record a question or you just can greet a person, and if the person is available, if the people that are in that chat are available, they will answer immediately or they will answer later when they have the time. But they will get the question that you audio record, they will save it in their cell phones. So that's why it works like WhatsApp. For
Mhm.
example, when you send any message to a friend in WhatsApp, you audio record
Yes.
it and the person can listen to it anytime. It happens the same with Celo.
Uh,
Sometimes in those groups, they have a specific time to practice. So they say they have in the in the description of the group they have we practice at nights or we practice in the mornings, etc.
mm, in any time we can
Yes, so
practice and
there
study.
are a lot of groups. If you type English Spanish for advanced students or English Spanish for intermediate English Spanish, you will get a long list, like for example, 20 different groups. So what you have to do is to go into each group and read what is the description of the topics that each group wants to talk about. And if they have, let's say, rules to practice. So, for example, the rule is that you need to upload your photo or you need to introduce yourself by answering some questions. So it depends on the group. Sometimes they have some rules, sometimes they don't.
Mm, teacher, thank you so much and thank you for your time.
Okay, Alexandra, no problem.
Yes, because I'm really worried about it because I'm in a fifth semester and my English improved, but no is the level that debería tener should we have. So I need to practice more, of course, in learning a lot of things because in the future I really want to be a teacher and people like me that I don't have the level or I'm scared about English. I want to teach these people for can improve
And
and learn the language.
why don't you start offering personalized lessons? That also helps you offer personalized lessons for beginners or intermediate students. I think you have the English level to teach those lessons. That let me tell you that works a lot to help you practice being a teacher and practicing your English. So you could probably start by doing it. A lot of people need a personalized classes just so you could start doing it.
Okay, teacher. Thank you so much.
Okay, Alexandra, you're
Seriously.
welcome. Any time, and if you have more questions, just let me know. Okay?
Thank you, teacher. Have a good night. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye, teacher.